Fourth place again. I'm sure at this point you're sick of seeing fourth place next to your name, right?
Yeah, man. It's a lot better when it's one position further up, but yeah, I kind of did it to myself, jumping on that red cross. If I didn't jump on that red cross, it would have been a different story. So either way, rode good in the second and the third main, but I got a good start in the first one, but I didn't feel like I rode that good in the second half of it. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm really pumped for a weekend off, and yeah, I'm looking forward to going home and chilling.
With the Red Cross thing, did you see it, and is there anything they could do better, different, or whatever to get you guys to notice it?
I don't think so. I think, when they put the finish line like that, we're coming out of a sharp corner. We're already looking at ruts.
Yeah.
So I knew something was there. I thought it was a white flag.
Yeah.
But then he was waving something. So I hit the finish line, and I looked back, and I saw it, and I was like, dude.
Yeah.
My luck, And yeah, we take the penalty, we move on. But when you put the finish line like that, when you're already kind of focused on everything else, it doesn't really matter. There's five of us that didn't see it. So, and then shit happens. So.
Yeah. Back into the first race, like you said, the first half of it went well for you. Are you happy seeing like the intensity and the pace that you have early in these races? Because it's been pretty good all year.
Yeah, man. I've actually been really focusing on, during the week, I've been focusing on my opening laps and just getting those down. Yeah. And I worked hard enough on that my starts went crap. So, it's tough, but it feels good that what I'm focusing on is getting better. Yeah. And it just one position out of the money. So we'll work on it. We'll get better, and we'll come out swinging for the second half.
Home race. Yep. So first of all, how exciting was it to be home? You had the Kansas City hat. Like, must have been cool, right?
Yeah, super good. Loved the setup. Looked good. All the people going by loved it. Dirt was sick tonight. The track got beat up. It was nice. I got to go home this week, which was awesome. I'm going to go home another couple days, so it was good.
Third main event, I think it was, you and Jason went down in the first rhythm. What happened, and are you okay from it as well?
Yeah, I'm fine. He crashed right in front of me in that rhythm, and I had nowhere to go, smoked his bike.
Oh.
But no, I'm good. I had some bad luck tonight. I crashed in the first rhythm, in the first main, cross-rutted in one of the rhythms. Had to come from last to 13th. But overall, I was stoked with my riding today. Really all day, like I was racing guys where I haven't necessarily been doing that. So overall, really happy with it. The bike was awesome. So. Do
you feel that your starts are a little bit better? I know last week we talked heat was good, main wasn't. Do you feel it's more consistent this week?
Yeah, we're getting better. Still need to work on them, but they're trending upwards.
Okay,
so,
good deal. How's the physicality through three main events here? Are you a little bit gassed?
I'm pretty smoked now. I felt good in the first two, and then like maybe 3 to go in that last one, I started getting where I was like, oh, I'm pretty tired. Yeah. But no, it's a lot of riding.
Take me through your night and how you felt out there in all three mains.
Well, my LCQ was sick. I rode really good in that, so that was pumped. And then I tried to carry that into my first main, and it just didn't happen. I was trying to take the same lines, and it wasn't working. And I was making mistakes, and then I got super pumped up, and I went straight backwards. I couldn't have gone backwards anymore if I had turned around. But then the second main, dude, I started 8th. And I was ripping the first 5 laps. And I had a little thing at the end of that race with, I don't even know, I didn't really do anything wrong, actually, but I got yelled at by people. And then I yelled at somebody who passed me when they shouldn't have passed me. But
Coop and Chiz is, I'm assuming, who were
it wasn't about? Chiz. Chiz and I had a good battle.
Because I thought Chiz passed you under the blue again.
He did, but it was more reasonable than the other one.
Okay.
And it was, it is what it is. I'm not going to rant about it, but so that kind of sucked. I got yelled at by Coop again, but over that, Don't really care. And the third main, I started probably like 10th to 12th again. And when Jet and Barsha fell, like I went to cut under Jet's bike and hit his rear wheel, and it like whipped my bike out from under me. So that was a real bummer. Because if I would have done good in that main, I would have been like 15 to 17.
Yeah.
And instead I'm 20th. So to come out tonight with only 2 points is a bummer. It's a lot of racing to only get 2 points.
Yeah, I know. The starts obviously were not maybe where you wanted them, but I feel like they progressively got better. Would you say that's fair about how it got?
Yeah, Moto 1 was terrible. I don't know what I was doing. I had a pretty good, it wasn't even like a huge crash in practice. I just rolled my wrist up pretty good. I sprained it pretty good. Had to get a Toradol shot before the main, so it took me a couple laps to get going. But besides that, no. We changed some things up with the clutches, plates, springs, lever, and we got rained out this week, so all I got to do was starts and not really ride with it. So I was kind of learning the bike all day, what it would do in certain sections. But anyhow, no, Moto 1 was just kind of getting the flow of things, kind of loosening up from the tip over. And then Moto 2 got a better gate pick, came out in the top 8, something like that. It was like, okay, though, well, it's better than 20th. So had a decent moto that one. The Moto 3 was another solid start. So we slowly got better. No, I mean, I wish I rode like I did halfway through Moto 2 and 3 all night. I mean, we showed that the speed's there, obviously, and the endurance. Hopefully we just keep working on more starts. I know I keep saying that, but I really do feel like I found some things. Me and Phil talked about it, and I'm going to just keep working on it, and hopefully we come swinging in Nashville with it.
In these Triple Crown races, they more or less groom the whole track right before your guys' 3 races. How much does that up the intensity because everyone's kind of going the same speed then?
Yeah, Moto 1, I'm a fan with certain things, on certain rhythms where it's dangerous, but I'm not really a fan when they do the whole track. I really like the tracks to be really brutal, whoops to be cupped out, and I mean, obviously racing's racing. You got to be good at it all, but for me, I feel like I have a better advantage against certain guys when the track's rough and gnarly. And the first mode was just definitely a lot more intensity than I thought it was going to be. So track was pretty tough to pass on too, with a lot of 90s. So yeah, no. Moto 1 was definitely difficult, but once track got gnarly at the end, I was super pumped with it. Definitely gelled a lot better, and my bike is set up for that type of stuff. So no, I was happy with the last 2 motos. Obviously, we won the top 3, but I'll take it.
Just the first main event, when did you feel it? Like, did you know pretty early, or?
Probably about lap 4, went off the finish line, wall, the switchbacks. Like, I got on the gas, my bike's like, and I'm like, fuck, did I catch dirt in my rear brake or something? Because you never really know, but I felt it. And then I went inside, rolled double to the Supercross triple, and right off the face of the Supercross triple, it's seized, and I'm like, yikes, and I just barely made it. But then, like, I pulled off, and I'm like, fuck, man, something's bogging. I don't know what's going on. And I looked down at my boot, and I saw a bunch of coolant, and I'm like, fuck. And I pulled in the mechanics area, and my radiator hose had blown off. So I think, I don't know if it happened with me and RJ. RJ kind of pinned me up before the finish line pretty fucking high. I was mad at RJ a little bit. I told him, I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, I'm not going to try and fucking hold you up out there. Like, I'll give you room somewhere else. Like, fuck.
Isn't this the second time RJ's done you dirty this year, too?
A little this year, last year. I told RJ, I said, listen here, fucker. I said, I ain't in no championship, and I know you are. I said, I like you. You're a cool dude, but don't fucking do that to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is. So it ended up working out okay. But yeah, bike seized. The boys came back. 30 minutes between mains. They put a new engine in and went 9-8 in the last 2. I blew up like a balloon the second main. Juju got me on the last lap, little peckerhead, and yeah, is what it is. So it's a good rebound.
We know you're a good starter, but were you pretty happy with how things went from that outside gate?
Yeah. I mean, I was 20th, and I was 22nd. I was way outside, and I came around 4th or 5th. So I came around 4th or 5th in all of them, actually. Like, I had pretty good starts and good positioning, but I don't like going down rhythms with the kids that are brain off, and some of them are dumb as shit. Like, they can't read someone else being on a different rhythm, and it's just like, dude, they're scary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but it is what it is. So I just wish people did their due diligence a little bit better out there and kind of could be able to read the first section. So, but But yeah, it was okay. I got shuffled back 8th, 9th, and just a little bummed about the first one. But it is what it is. I sucked in Seattle last week. This week was a little bit of mechanical, so it's all about balance.
You're obviously still dealing with the injury, and it seemed like it flared up again a little bit today, right? So just trying to push through?
Yeah, unfortunately I had a crash on the first lap of the second qualifying, and I just caught the clutch right to the thigh. As stupid as it sounds, it was just a little tip over, and the way I landed was, a little wrong, we'll say. So, yeah, unfortunately on the same leg as well. So, just made my whole leg tight, and my knee was feeling fine. I was feeling, okay, and then that happened. So, yeah, sore again, unfortunately, but it's part of it.
Did you feel like at least when you were in the battles in the main event, things were going comfortably well enough, or was it just a struggle the whole time?
It's been a struggle. I rode press yesterday morning, and the only real struggle is I like to use my legs a lot. I ride a lot of BMX pump track when I'm at home, and just that was the only thing that wasn't really firing, and I think that's what slowed me down today. So, yeah, just not quite catching the downsides perfect, and when you're clipping, you're losing those tenths, and it adds up and leads to me riding tight. So I think that was, if I had to pinpoint it, that's what was holding me back, was just not being able to use the legs to the fullest potential.
Can't remember if it was race 2 or 3. I saw you have a slide out after the wall jump. How much does that kind of take it out of you when you're in a fight like that too?
Yeah, it sucks because honestly, I was just mentally defeated after the first 2 anyway. When I crashed, it was just like, all right, like I wasn't battling in the front to begin with, and then you have a crash like that, and you're even further back, and it's really hard to ride around in no man's land. Yeah. So, I was just pushing and as much as I could and doing what I could, but like I said, I had no fire today. I had no push. I had no explode, which normally I feel like, I can come out in the heat races, and, even last week when I had, the hurt knee, I still ran 4th and, was catching Beaumare.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm good at that, and today I just didn't have it.
First of all, why 250 this week? What's the deal?
Honestly, there wasn't really like I don't know, honestly. I don't really know. Yeah, you could say class is easier, so that's why I switched, but it truly wasn't why. Like, I just maybe, I don't know, the team asked me, like, oh, well, actually, they threw the idea out there at, I think, Arlington. They're like, if you make Arlington or Indy in the 450 class, you can ride the 250. And I made Indy Triple Crown on the 450. And, yeah, so he wanted me to ride it last weekend at Seattle as well. But I was like, I just came off a Triple Crown. Like, I don't want to switch yet, you know? And then obviously I missed it last weekend. So I was like, all right, let's make it happen, Yeah.
So is that the plan moving forward then, or what?
No.
Okay.
450 rest of the season still. Well, there's only, I think, just one West race left before they combine them. So I think, 450, but maybe 250 West in Denver. But Pulp race is Friday, so I'm riding my 450 in that for sure, So.
All right, then take me through your night. How it felt out there on the 250?
Yeah. Bike's really fast, but honestly, the track's soft. So it felt like I was riding on 125 out there sometimes. Just the ruts were like suctioning you, And struggled to get over some triples. I think the first main I started in like 22nd, dead last, not great. And I got to 16th. Second main, much better start. I think I was 9th for like 8 minutes. I was stoked about that. Cased 1 triple though, and 6 guys passed me in 1 lap. So that was a bit of a bummer. I think I had like 3 laps left or something. Honestly, after that, I was pretty pumped. So I just rode it in. I think 15th, then 16th. Third main was pretty tired. All I did to the 250 was bolt my 450 stuff on. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit rigid, stiff, Yeah. And once the track broke down, it started getting rough for the third main. It was pretty tough to ride.
Yeah.
I got pretty tired again, and then just rode it in. I think 16th, 14th overall. So the consistency, I guess, helped me out a bit. Yeah.
Just take me through your main event, because you obviously started up front, battled the whole way through. It was kind of a fun one. It looked like.
Yeah, man, it was awesome, dude. I'm so stoked. I got off to the whole shot, and man, after that, to be honest, the first 2 laps, I was kind of holding my breath. I was a little bit nervous because I'm going to say 90% of my starts are bad, but we made that one happen, and yeah, I grabbed 4th, and dude, I just went in wide open into that corner, and I was trying to hold my ground and hold my position. I got passed by, I believe, Revin Gordon for 2nd, and then Drew came around me, and after that, I finally started to get in my groove and loosen up from those first 2 laps that I was tense, and yeah, I just loosened up and started hitting my marks, and then I went after the stadium triple in the middle. I turned left, 2, 3, 3, and then 2 again, passed him, and I got passed in 2nd, and then after that, I just kind of held my ground and started just basically clicking laps off until the checkered flag, and yeah, man, brought her around to the checkered flag in 2nd. Super stoked.
Early in the main event, did you, like, you're obviously leading, so did you kind of think about that, like, oh my God, I'm leading this race, this is kind of gnarly?
I mean, yeah, man, it was pretty hard not to think about. I was out front, and normally I'm in the back, so yeah, I was super stoked though.
This is your 2nd ride with Husky, at least in Supercross Futures so far. How have you kind of taken it, getting acclimated with the team and everything so far?
Yeah, man, it's such an awesome experience. I really wouldn't be able to do it without them. Like, they really have my backs, man. The bike is great. It's so fast, and it really puts me where I need to be. So, yeah, man, that's awesome. But I'm getting adapted to it, and I really love it.
This main event looked a little hectic out there. A lot of guys went down. You were able to kind of sneak through a lot of it and get in that battle for 3rd late. So just take me through your main event.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the greatest of start. I got caught up, and I don't even know where I was. I was back in like 11th or something. So, I mean, it took me like half the race to get, comfortable with getting in my flow and trying to go. It's quite hard to focus when there's people going left and right in the lanes, and yeah, I got in my flow, and I got a clear track, and I was able to get up to 3rd. So yeah, the second half of the race I was pretty happy with. Yeah.
How much different has this one felt compared to Daytona, Anaheim 2? Like, did you learn a lot at those first 2 that you felt like you kind of used this week, for example?
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot from each one. I've taken more and more advice from each one, and with the break before this one, we've made a lot of gains, and yeah. Good.
Does it change your expectations because you won Anaheim? Like, every single week you come into these now, if you don't win, it's going to be considered a failure, or are you still happy with your result tonight?
I'm happy with my riding, but I'm always wanting more out of my result, but I come into every race wanting to win, so yeah.
Just take me through your day, through your night, how everything felt out there.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously in Futures we come out with a brand new track, and that's super sick, and then you get to learn everything, and then you come out on pretty gnarly track and then have to try and do the same thing, but it was good to like kind of learn the alternate rhythms pretty quickly and get those down. And then we came out for qualifying on the brand new track again, or it wasn't even brand new, the whoops were still beat, and it was still pretty gnarly. And then I think I qualified 10th and then 9th in the 2nd session, and then in the main came out, got an okay start, and it was carnage. There was people laying everywhere. It was so crazy. Like, I obviously going through that first rhythm section, I didn't know who was doubling, who was rolling, and I was just trying to find like space, but everybody was going every which way but straight, and it was like, holy smokes, this is gnarly. And then kind of got settled in pretty quickly, and just tried to do my own laps, and I hit the safest lines and tried to be the most consistent I could be, and I got told I ran a 103 every single lap, which isn't not no burner lap time, but I ended up 5th, which was a lot better than Daytona because we DNF'd that. So big step in the right direction for me.
Yeah. Throughout the day, obviously, like you said, the track changes a bunch. Do you guys get a chance to like work on the bikes, change clickers, things like that, or is it really just trying to learn every single time?
It's a lot of trying to learn, but I'm gonna be honest. We got a guy at club. His name's Ty Zip Fix, and that dude is so good at just like making the little, and it's to the point now where I don't even, he says, okay, yeah, I changed this or this. I'm like, dude, do what you got to do. Like, do whatever you got to do it, because I got full trust in him, and I know he's going to make the right call. And honestly, it was a track, like the track was so gnarly that I don't think the bike setup was going to change anything. I think it was something where you're just, for me, it was just a matter of going out there and being consistent, hitting the lines, and trying to make it through the whole event.
Take me through your race. You're up there in the mix for a lot of it.
Yeah, I qualified terrible. I was just struggling a little bit with the track this morning and went back to the hotel, just reset, came in with a fresh start, and pulled one of the gnarliest starts of my life and like got up into the mix, and then just I told myself I was going to worry about myself and myself only, and just rode my own race, and a lot of people crashed in front of me, and I just rode all the way through. Did have a rear brake problem about halfway through, and made me ride a little tight after that. Got some arm pump, but I'm really happy with it. We made a lot of progression from Daytona and A2, and we're just getting started.
You've obviously done a few of these futures races now, so what did you kind of learn from doing these in the past that you think helped you tonight?
Focus on yourself. Don't get caught up in the hype.
Mm-hmm.
A2, I was shaking and before I had to go racing, so it's just another race, just another track. Yeah, there's a lot of people, but I tried to not get caught up in the hype.
Yeah, take me through your main event and how it went for you out there.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a rough one for sure, but everyone has their bad days and good days. Growing up in the West Coast, in Indonesia, it's super hard packed, so definitely had to adapt to the ruts and the softness of the dirt all day. Got off to a horrendously terrible start. I was pretty much in last. Someone went down in the rhythm, got stuck behind him, so I was like 20th. Made some quick moves in the first 2 to 3 laps. A couple people made a couple mistakes, went down. Was in 11th, cross-threaded up the finish line, went off the track, came back on, looked over right after that wall jump to see if anyone was down or anyone was coming towards me. And then when I looked back, there was a tough block in front of me, so rammed straight in that thing, went over the bars. Not the best night, but it's I'm really thankful for the Supercross Futures program to get these kind of kinks and stuff out of the way and learn a lot. And yeah, stoked to be out of here in one piece and ready to live another day.
I know you're dealing with the torn ACL, right?
Yep.
So how is that challenging with the rutted conditions out there?
To be honest, it wasn't challenging at all. To be honest, I don't really notice my torn ACL or meniscus when I'm out there. Obviously, if I dab it wrong on the right side, it shifts a little bit because I don't have those tendons. But honestly, I didn't really notice it at all today, and